Hey, thanks for joining me at Wofford Farms. This week's video is going to be, I think, one of my best recipes. It's my smoked mac and cheese, and so I appreciate you joining me today. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button and that bell if you want to get notified of every video that we have. And we'll be sure and keep putting out some good food videos. Again, if you have any comments, list them in the comment section below. And thanks for joining me today. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how to do the smoked macaroni and cheese on the Yoder Smoker YS 640 pellet grill. So this is a recipe I got off of All Things Barbecue, and so this is not my original recipe. I have tweaked it just a little bit to fit my family and what we like. So I'm just going to go through the recipe as we do it on the Yoder, and you can, if you need to, I'll put a link to the recipe down below in the description. So if you want this, you obviously can go get it for yourself. We're going to run the pellet grill today at 250 degrees. The basic concept is I'll get all the mac and cheese mixed up on a sheet pan. I'll put it in the Yoder Smoker at 250 degrees. It'll cook for 1 hour, untouched, lid closed, everything's just, don't look at it. After 1 hour, I'll come and I'll stir it. Then we watch it, and from that point on, we cook it. I check it about every 30 to 40 minutes. It says to check it every hour because it needs you to stir it, because basically we need the cheese and the milk and everything just to get stirred up and mixed together. We don't want the macaroni on the bottom to burn. It's on the top rack of the smoker, so it's not like it's in direct heat or anything. But I personally check it every 30 to 40 minutes. That's probably me being paranoid, but nonetheless, that's what I do. All right, so let's get started. So first things first. 16-ounce bag of macaroni. So it don't matter if you use the elbow macaroni, if you use the some kind of fancy shells, it's irrelevant what you use. 16 ounces of macaroni. I got the scissors stuck on my thumb. So 16 ounces of macaroni. Just put it into a half sheet pan, so it'll fill this up to the brim. Next thing we put in is we put in 24 ounces of cheese. So today I'm cooking with Colby Jack and a triple cheddar. So 24 ounces of cheese, it just goes in there. We're gonna stir all the dry ingredients before we put our wet in there. So get that in there. You're like, that's a lot of cheese. Well, we're making mac and cheese, okay? So we like it cheesy. So 24 ounces of cheese. So get that in there. Okay, we're going to stir that up. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I've got this little pan here just to help with splash over and stuff like that. So anyway, that's in there. So got 24 ounces of cheese, got it stirred up just a little bit. This is the 505 green chili seasoning. How much do you put in there? I kind of eyeball it. So this is an optional ingredient. If you don't want it in there, don't put it in there. That right there was about 2 tablespoons. Next ingredient, next dry ingredient, this is the Cattleman's Grill Trail Dust. I use this almost in everything. This is 1 tablespoon of trail dust seasoning. This is salt, pepper, garlic. Yeah, 1 tablespoon. I wrote it down over here. Here's all the wet ingredients now. This is going to sound like a lot, but it's what it is. So here's 3 cups of heavy whipping cream. 3 cups of heavy whipping cream. Okay, as soon as I pour in that whipping cream, I like to take my spoon and start mixing up my dry ingredients with that whipping cream. Because once I get the milk in there, I will not be able to stir it anymore. So I like to go ahead and do this right now. So got the heavy whipping cream in there, the cheese, the macaroni, the seasoning, the 505 green chili sauce, got that in there. Stirred it up, we're good to go. Now here's the next one. 6 cups of milk. 6 cups of milk. So, whoops, I got to turn this where I can see it. Let's get to the 6 mark. Okay, there's 6 cups of milk. That's about a half a gallon, it looks like. So a little over half gallon. Now here's where it gets tricky. This fills it up to the brim, so you can start pouring pretty steady, but then when it gets to the top, you're gonna have to be careful. I have actually stopped before. I have also, let me get that cheese off there. I have also in the past taken my little silver pan and stood the pan up on ends. So I take where the lid would go typically and I stand it up, which gives you a little more room to add the remaining milk. I've got about a half a cup left, so I need to get it in there. Okay, there, it's all in there. Okay, this is going in the center of my smoker on the top grill, 250 degrees. So we are using competition barbecue pellets today, which is a oak, cherry, hickory mix. You gotta be really careful not to spill this. If you do spill it, it's not that big a deal. There's plenty of liquid in there. Right in the center of my grill. Shut the lid. I'll set my phone timer for 1 hour. This is tough. Don't open the door, don't look. 1 hour at 250 degrees. Let it go, let it do its thing. I'm gonna come out and stir it just as best I can. It's still gonna be a little liquid. Then we're gonna let it go another hour, stir it again. As I told you, probably 30 minutes before I start it, but another hour, stir it again. Then at the 2.5 hour mark, it should be done. It should be solid, set up. Macaroni should be tender to eat. Cheese melted, perfect macaroni and cheese. And I'll show you the finished product and I'll show you some of the process as we go along. Look who I found in my shop. This would be my shop dog. She got through my fence and made herself at home, so we'll let her stay in here. She doesn't like the fireworks, and so she's scared of the fireworks. All right, I waited 1 hour like I told you I would do, and so we're going to open this up and stir it and get everything stirred back up. Make sure we're not sticking on the bottom. I'll kind of scrape on the bottom and make sure it's starting to melt the cheese and everything. So you have to be careful when you do this because it'll slosh out. It's still really runny. Cheese is starting to melt, but it's still pure liquid at this moment in time. Like I say, we're just making sure we don't have anything stuck on the bottom. I don't feel anything. Everything feels good, so we'll shut the lid. Still running at 250, so nothing's changed. My temperature dropped to about 237 right there as the door opened, but nonetheless, we'll let it crank back up. And again, give it another hour and check it again. Our total cook time is going to be about 2.5 hours. All right, we hit the 2 hour mark, so I'm going to open it back up, stir it one more time, see where we're at on our consistency and how much longer, if it's going to be 30 minutes or an hour, but we'll make that judgment call once I open it up. All right, it is a creamy thickness now, so it's not ready, but we're probably only talking about another 30 minutes on this to be done. It's kind of solid in the middle, and so as I stir it, getting that liquid distributed, the noodles I would say are pretty close to al dente, and so you know, they're going to be done. So now all I'm doing is trying to get that liquid to get a little more solid. So it's looking really good, progressing really good. So we're going to shut it 250, another 30 minutes, and we'll be done. All right, 30 minutes is up, and this should be done. And so we're going to go ahead and pull it off. Now I'm probably pulling this a little earlier than I normally would because I'm going to actually reheat, let it cool down and reheat this. And so it's probably a little wetter than I normally would pull it off, but I don't want it to dry out, you know, when I go to reheat it. So I'm going to pull it off right now. Let me show you what we got. Let's see if I can get a better shot here. All right, I think this is a better angle. So as you can see, I'm going to stir it, still a little soupy. Like I said, normally I would not pull it off this early, but since I'm going to reheat it, then I'm going to go ahead and pull it off. So it's going to, when it reheats, it'll some of that stuff will solidify and dry up, So yeah, it's just a little soupier than what I normally do, but nonetheless, like I say, we're gonna go ahead and pull it off, but you can see it's good and creamy. Man, looks delicious. Got a little smoke flavor on top there, which is kind of hard to see on the camera, but nonetheless got a little smoke layer. But this stuff is good, and so I highly recommend this recipe to you.